Yo, watching the Screaming Fish once again, people, and today, it's finally here. My review of Captain America Civil War is finally here. I reviewed 12 of MCU movie reviews just to get here, and I've been waiting since 2014 for Civil War to come out. It's finally here, and now I get to review it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Political pressure amounts to install a system of accountability when the actions of the Avengers lead to collateral damage. The new status quo deeply divides members of the team. Captain America, played by Chris Evans once again, believes superheroes should remain free to defend humanity without government interference, while Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr., once again, sharply disagrees and supports oversight. As the debate escalates into an all-out feud, Black Widow, played by Scarlett Johansson, and Hawkeye, played by Jeremy Renner, must pick a side. So, now, I just want to talk about 6 characters in particular, because there are a lot, and I don't have enough video runtime to talk about all of them, and also these were the 6 characters I thought deserved to be mentioned in this review. So first off, we've obviously got Chris Evans as Captain America. Chris Evans gives what is probably his best performance as Steve Rogers / Captain America. You really feel the weight of what's happening to him and what he has to do to protect his friend Bucky Barnes, and you can also really see why he thinks government control over the Avengers is a terrible idea. Speaking of Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan is brilliant in this movie. Every scene this guy was in, he just blew me away. And to be honest, I can really see this guy becoming a huge part of future films like Infinity War or beyond. So, next up is Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, who is all for the government control over the Avengers. What makes his character so strong in this movie is not his brilliant performance as Iron Man, though that does add to it. The real reason is that you understand why Tony Stark thinks this is a good idea and why he would want to do this, and is trying to convince Captain America and his team of heroes to do this stuff. So next up is Black Panther. Oh my god, I love Black Panther. This guy, Chadwick Boseman, plays the part perfectly. He's such a dark and brooding character in the film, and I'd quite rightfully say that he's the strongest character in the film because of this. And I must say that the Black Panther suit looks fantastic. They went unbelievably comic book accurate with the suit, and I mean, when I first saw him on the screen, I was just amazed. And my friend Poncho XPD was sitting next to me, and he was just fanboying, and and I was doing the same really. So now, for the one we've all been waiting for, Spider-Man finally makes his introduction into the MCU. I'm only going to say this once, and I'll say it again. Tom Holland is the best Peter Parker / Spider-Man on screen, period. This jokey, lovable kind of Spider-Man we had in this spectacular Spider-Man animated series is the kind of Spider-Man I've been waiting to see for years, and I have a very strong feeling that his entrance into this movie will become iconic in the future. And yes, for those who didn't already know this, Spider-Man is in Captain America Civil War. So, finally, we have our main villain, Baron Zemo, played by Daniel Brühl. I think that's how you pronounce it. Brühl. Yeah, Brühl. I don't know. As our main villain. Now, I wouldn't call him the best Marvel villain in the universe, but unlike most of the villains in this universe, he is properly developed, and I liked Baron Zemo as a villain overall. So, the story itself, in my opinion, is the strongest we've had so far, mainly because of the very difficult decision our heroes are faced with. I absolutely loved how this movie had at least 12 superheroes, including our newcomers Spider-Man and Black Panther, in the film, and still managed to keep a balanced and well-written story. Every hero got their chance to shine and show us what they've got in this movie, making it one of the best aspects of the film. I will also point out that there are 2 things this film has 2 different kind of storylines working here. The Captain America part of the film is a sequel to Winter Soldier, obviously, while the Civil War part of the story is a sequel to Age of Ultron. So it's kind of like a 2-way thing here. But even then, it still managed to keep a balanced story, which is something this year's Batman vs Superman failed to do. And while you've obviously picked whose side you're on, you're still going to feel bad for the other team. And no matter which team you go for, you can see the goods and bads for both sides of the argument. And like I mentioned before, you can see why Cap is doing what he's doing and why Iron Man is doing what he's doing. I mean, personally, I'd go Team Cap, though Iron Man does have the better team members, but oh well. So, now for the action. I would just like to say that the action sequence set in the airport that's been teased in so many of the trailers is one of the best action sequences I've ever seen. Not just in a comic book movies, but movies in general. Not to mention the Russo brothers' decision to go with a more hand-to-hand combat approach with the action is a brilliant decision. As the hand-to-hand combat scenes make for some of the best action you'll ever see in a movie, and the CGI still looks amazing. And I would even say that the CGI looks better in this movie than it does in the trailers. And finally, the actual fight between Iron Man and Captain America was mind-blowing. The fight itself is the best superhero fight, period. From the way it's shot, the way it's choreographed, to the sheer emotion of it. And not to mention, it brings out a side of Iron Man we have never seen before, and really shows that Tony Stark ain't what we all thought he was. So, now for the conclusion. Captain America Civil War is a brilliant, action-packed, emotional, and thrilling thrill ride that takes the MCU to the next level, and I must say that it's definitely been worth the wait. This is the best film I've seen all year round, and by far the best superhero film of all time. 10 out of 10. Best Marvel film, period. So, guys, I'd just like to say thank you for actually caring for what I had to say about the other 12 movies before this movie, and thank you for caring for what I have to say for this film, because really there is nothing to dislike about Captain America Civil War, and yeah, it is my favourite comic book movie. So, guys, thank you for watching. Do hope you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to like if you like the video, or subscribe for more content. And don't worry, that 2-part Batman vs Superman spoiler review will indeed be coming shortly. I just got some other videos to do first, but don't worry, that will be coming quite soon. So please don't forget to follow me on my Facebook page, and I'll indeed see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.